All right, this part two to the Whitey Bulger story. All right, I done told you the Whitey Bulger story, my encounter with Whitey Bulger, how I first heard about him in Oklahoma, and then how I wound up running into him in Florida, sunny Florida. All right, let's rock. All right, now we're gonna talk about the Whitey Bulger story. This part two, man, so y'all understand. So this is dealing with mental health and cancer. You know, cancer, leukemia, and other major issues. Whether we're dealing with prostate cancer, colon cancer, or whatever cancer. Now, this man had cancer. All right, I was being checked and monitored for my prostate, and it came up benign for cancer. So let's give me a round of applause. Let's give me a round of applause. All right, so now, Whitey Bulger. Like I said, I told you how I met Whitey Bulger in Oklahoma. Well, I heard about him in Oklahoma. And, the first time I heard about him, it kind of, like, oh, man, this dude 80-something years old, been on the run over 30 years, and the Fed's still grabbing him. I mean, I can't believe it. That don't make no sense to me, But to them, it makes sense because no matter what, they want their time. They're very vengeful. You know what I mean? So this is where we at. Now, I'm in Coleman with him, and like I said, dudes is catering to him. They pushing him around the wheelchair. He an old man. He doing what he got to do, So Whitey Bulger do what he got to do, and he got a bunch of guys running behind him. And this is, it's like real crazy over there because I couldn't believe how they was catering to him like that. And it wasn't just white dudes, It was, a lot of Spanish dudes, Luckily, thank God, it wasn't no black dudes. But like I said, 'cause we got our own, superheroes that we call them that we look up to. Now, he get there, and like I said, they washing him up in the shower. They catering to him. Anytime he got a medical appointment, they push him in a wheelchair, taking him up to the medical. If he got to go to psychology, education, whatever, they pushing him in a wheelchair. He was a little skinny, frail man, about maybe 120 pounds, 110 pounds, soaking wet. All gray hair, thinning, I guess from the cancer or whatever. And it's like, every time you go to medical, so y'all understand how it works in the penitentiary. Anytime you go to medical, their duty, as government officials, is to save the government money. So they trying to save the government money by, downplaying whatever illnesses we have. So you got cancer, you got a broken arm, they'll give you a Tylenol. You know what I mean? You got heartburn, they give you a Tylenol. You got stabbed, they give you a Tylenol. Whatever happened, they give you a Tylenol. You know what I mean? They think that that's the cure to everything, but that's the cheapest cure. Because the dude get that, he think that's what it is. So now, Whitey Bulger kept going up to medical. So every time he went to medical, and he went up there, being that the medical was so terrible, he complained about something. Like he might go up there, they might have him on a call out for 7:30 in the morning. He go up there, they don't see him until, 10:30, right before they have recall. 10:30 in the prison, they got recall. So they got a little recall or whatever. So he's still up there, so he's knocking on the window every 20 minutes saying, hey, Bulger, I'm here. And they like, yeah, we know, you got to wait your turn. And he's like, but people coming in after me, they got 8:30 and 9:30 appointments and already got in, and I've been in here since 7:30. Nobody trying to hear that. You know what I mean? So that's how they do that. So now, from him complaining all the time, and then when he finally get back there and they try and give him a Tylenol, he old gangster, So he go back there, they give him a Tylenol and tell him that, take this for your cancer. And he's not a stupid man, so he's like, man, that ain't gonna help no cancer. That ain't gonna help nothing. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, come on, y'all gotta do better than that. And, they get mad, the nurses and all that, they talking crap. But like I said, their objective is to save money. So from him complaining back and forth, what they do is They get pissed off and they said, okay, we got to set a trap for this dude. Now, where he was at was in Coleman. When I got to Coleman, it was a regular penitentiary, and then they turned it into what they call a dropout yard. A dropout yard or a PC yard or whatever. So dudes that's aggressive or, had aggression on their jacket within the last, let's say, 2 or 3 years, they sent them over to Coleman, right? But now I got there right before that. What happened, it was a big riot in the yard, with the Serenos and the Nettas, And now I'm gonna give you a funny story about that. So you're gonna get a couple of good stories out of this. They be having drunk between the Serenos and the Nettas. So it was a little Spanish dude that used to always play the guitar. All he did was sit out there in the yard and play the guitar and sing old, Mexican folk songs, and everybody liked him. He was real quiet. He didn't bother nobody or nothing. And when the riot jumped off, he was a Netta, you know what I mean? And when the riot jumped off with the Serenos and things got all out of control, I mean, they out there, they fighting, they pushing knives. I mean, dudes stabbing each other, beating each other with anything they could get their hands on. I mean, they beating them with laundry bags, with their workout equipment in it and their water bottle. You know what it's like to get hit in the head with a water bottle? That's like me getting hit in the head with a lock. Boop. You know what I mean? But that's how that is. I'm going to tell you that story, though. Y'all been asking for it. I'm going to tell y'all. But hit that like button, man. Hit the like button, So, and cop the book of Rowan Harlem. But now, they out there fighting and they carrying on. I mean, these dudes is pushing knives this big that they done made out of the bunk. Now, the way they make the knives out the bunk is you take a pen and you draw the shape of the knife you want, and then you get a fingernail clipper and you scrape the fingernail clipper just to get a little hole in it to get it deep enough so you could take dental floss. Now, I'm going to tell you how crazy this is. Like I said, I always give y'all the game. That's why I say the game is to be sold, not told. Could you imagine cutting solid steel with dental floss? Did you hear what I said? Cutting solid steel with dental floss, So you cut the little hole with the toenail clippers. You scrape the toenail clipper because it's solid steel. You scrape it on the steel. Sometimes you even see smoke come up like you're trying to start a fire. But you got to keep scraping it until you get through the middle with just a hairline crack. And then you string that dental floss through that joint. And once you get the dental floss through there, you get a sock, put the sock on or wrap a sock in your hand. You know what I mean? Here goes sock. You wrap a sock in your hand, I'm even giving y'all props. You wrap a sock in your hand like this. So now you got the sock in your hand. You don't put it on your hand. You got it because you want to double it up. You got the sock there and you got, a sock in the other hand. And, here we go. Let me show you. I'm going to give y'all a good example. You know what I mean? Good example. So we take the sock. Now you got these two socks and you got this dental floss. Let me see what I could use for dental floss. You know what I mean? You take something like this, Now let's say this the dental floss. You string it through the steel in the bed, and then you wrap it around your wrist. You know what I mean? Around the joint, and you pull it. You understand what I'm saying? You pull it. And I mean, this take hours. Oh, but we doing life in prison. Might be doing 30 years, 40 years, so we got plenty of time, but we need a knife and a good thick knife. So you, and you pulling it, and you keep rounding it, and you hit it around the shape of whatever it is you put in the bed, and you keep going along that line. It takes hours, I'm letting you know, but that hours could save your life, So now, they sit there and they got knives this big and this thick. You know what I mean? Made out of solid steel, and then they take the glove, they take the sock, and they wrap the sock around it. I'm giving y'all the detail. Man, hit that Cash App. That's why I be saying hit the Cash App. Y'all getting stuff y'all would never get sitting in your living room so you ain't got to go through this crap. All right? So you know where the Cash App at. I don't care if it's $1. If you can't afford a Cash App, this is what you do. You hit the emoji sign. Hit the diamonds, meaning that I'm giving y'all jewels. You know how they got that diamond. Hit the diamond, I'm giving y'all jewels. Hit the fire emoji or hit the little strong arm. I like the strong arm. You hit any emoji just so we can get in the algorithm if you ain't got no Cash App. So I want to see a bunch of emojis, diamonds, or the fire, or whatever it is you choose to show, your appreciation for the game that I'm giving you. Because like I said, the game is to be sold, not told. So you wrap the joint around a joint like this, you know what I mean? So you don't hurt your hand, you know what I mean? And then when they grab it like this. Now, this here is all you need to go into somebody, but this is so don't cut the palm of your hand when you go to putting your work in. Game, jewels, emoji. You know what I mean? At the very least. But if it's $1, it's appreciated. Because like I said, Obama got to the White House from $1. I'm going to show y'all how to do this. Because let me explain something to you, right? Before I go any further. I'm a leader. I'm a trendsetter. You know what I mean? So right now, I have to lead you and show you how, YouTube etiquette is done. Like I said, we got other platforms. I'm not just saying donate to me. I'm saying donate to your other favorite platforms. Whatever platform you like. Like I said, I watched my man 10 Toes Down. Excellent. My man Zeke Black. You know what I mean? Hassan Campbell. You understand what I'm saying? I watch these programs. That's how we do. My man Kirk Bone TV. My man Chad Behind the Razor Wire. You understand what I'm saying? I'm checking out the other few podcasts to see if I'm going to add their names in the joint. I mentioned them already this week. Because like I said, I want everybody to eat. I'm just trying to show y'all how y'all support each other because these brothers haven't been taking the time to really give y'all the YouTube etiquette because they take it for granted that no disrespect to them because like I said, I love their channel and I've donated Cash App to their channel. If I'm watching a video and I like what's going on, I hit a Cash App. You know what I mean? But I always, as soon as I go to a video, I don't care what it is. If it was enough to make me click it, as long as it ain't clickbait, I hit that thumbs up. So that's all I'm asking you to do. I'm leading by example. The same thing that I do for my comrades is all I'm asking you to do for me. Hit that thumbs up, you know what I mean? You like the joint, you know what I mean? You go to the comment, you hit the emoji. I don't care if it's the fire, the diamond, or the strong arm, or the thumbs up, or whatever you want to hit. Hit an emoji and send it as a comment, and that will get us in the algorithm so they can share this with others. And that's how we make more money. So you understand. Because this is all about us eating. This is our hustle. Y'all don't want me out there selling 25 keys a day no more. So right now, I'm giving y'all more than that. You know what I mean? I'm giving y'all jewels, and these jewels is going to save your life, not mess up your life. And I apologize to anybody that I've sold drugs to, or anybody that the drugs I've sold affected the family members of those that I sold drugs to. Because that's how real I am. You know what I mean? At the time, I didn't care. Now I care. Now I'm trying to make it better. But anyway, so you got the joint. So this is how you hold the joint. You understand? Now, let's say you're going to go fight somebody and you holding it. You don't go jugging them like that. You know what I mean? Not promoting anything. Just giving y'all facts, and this is for educational purposes to show you how we survive in a joint. So you hold a joint, you know what I mean? You hold a joint like this. Here's how you hold a joint. You know what I mean? So you got full control. The same way you will punch, bang, 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 while you punching, and when you see an opening, you hit them. You understand? Jam, 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 jam. Got to turn it, though. When you throw the punch, turn it. Because when you turn it, you got the whole shoulder behind it. And you know what I mean? Then when you come back, you do what you do, not promoting nothing, just showing you how ragged it get. So you young boys know, don't go to prison so you ain't got to go through this and don't have to deal with this. So nobody misconstrued me showing you how to hold a knife, you make a knife, and none of that as I'm trying to promote anything. Let's get that straight. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're stupid enough to think you could deal with what I dealt with, because I was stupid enough to break the law, and I apologize for breaking the law publicly here on YouTube, but I'm trying to prevent you from breaking the law so you don't have to go through this. This the crap I had to go through. I had to learn how to make a knife, take either a sock, or sometimes I take a sheet and cut the sheet up in threads and wrap the sheet around it. Depends what's going on. Because I might only have one pair of socks and I need my socks, and I might be in Raybook where it get 20 below up that joint. So I can't use my sock for my banger. You know what I mean? So I rip my sheets up, the little piece of the bottom sheet. So now instead of sheet coming all over my head, it might come up to my neck because I done cut off this much of the sheet in order to make the grip for the joint. You see the game I'm giving you? These are jewels. You know what I mean? These are lifelong jewels that will prevent you from going to prison or prepare you for going to prison. I'm not trying to prepare you to go to prison, so let's get that straight, take this out the equation, because we got the trolls that are trying to misconstrue everything going on. But when you hold a joint so that you can still use your fist, because you always want to use your fist. You understand what I'm saying? Well, that's your mitts. But then when you're ready to cock back, you can cock back and you pull back and do what you need to do. All right? I don't want you to have to go through none of this, so that's why I'm giving you the details so you understand that it ain't nothing nice in there. You ain't going to say, let me get a fair one, dog. Only person might give you a fair one is your car. You know what I mean? And you already know what a car is. That's your group, your gang, and whatever we call it cars. If you're from New York, you're a New York car. From Chicago, you're a Chicago car. And I got a couple of good Philly stories I'm getting ready to give. And I know y'all been asking about the Detroit story, but I had to reach out to a couple of people that I know in Detroit to make sure it was all right to give the Detroit story. So please bear with me because, like I said, my channel is not about trying to get views, putting people out there. I don't call names. I don't do all that. I'm just talking about Whitey Bulger because it was in the news. And this is what it is, so this is already public information. But anyway, so now this is how you hold a banger. You know, we don't talk. Let me give you an example. You know how you walking down the street and you see a fence. You know what I mean? So you see a fence and all you see is a fence that separate one side from the other. When we walking in a penitentiary and we see a fence, that same fence that you see that you just know you got to walk around it, first thing we think is, where could I cut a little piece out this big so I can make me a shank that won't be noticed by the police? So you know how they got the fence and they got a wire going from the top to the bottom. I mean, a piece of, aluminum going from the top to the bottom. Best knives, you know what I mean? And then they got another one that go from the other side, top to the bottom, and that's the secure that looks like this, and that's holding the fence up. We trying to find a way to cut that out, take it back to the cell, scrape it on that concrete to get the point short, pointy. You know what I mean? Or we might go over about a yard by the bathroom and sit out on the floor like we just chilling out, kicking it with the homie. And while we sitting there, now this how you hold it when you're sharpening it. Game. That's what I'm giving you. But I'm not promoting it. Don't think it's promoting it. I'm just sharing what it is. And to some, the small-minded people might think it's promoting it. I'm just showing you all the troubles we got to go through to survive because we don't have no God you nows in there. Y'all already know what the God you nows is. A bunch of the brothers, gave you the definition in the comments. So now you take the joint, you scrape it on the ground. So you're sitting there for hours. It's 120 degrees and you're sitting there sweating and you're sitting there taking a piece of steel that you done cut off a fence that everybody on the street walk by, don't pay no attention to. But what we see it is a lifesaver because it can save your life. You know what I mean? Or you can get you some money if you're to the criminal activity, you want to take the joint to run up on somebody and try and juke them, take their commissary store or whatever you want to take from them. So, it could be used for anything. If I'm talking too fast, what you do is you rewind this or you put the caption up there so it can tell you what I'm saying. But please don't ask me to slow down. I like to get in my zone and do me. So we out there and we take the joint and we, all day. I'm talking about, and that's a workout. You understand what I'm saying? With the same face you looking at. Then, of course, like I said, you wrap your sock around the end so you got something to hold so that the joint is secure in your hand and don't stab you in the palm of your hand. Now, you don't want to go through all that. So whatever you're doing out there, stop it. Stop it, man. You're not trying to live like this. They gave me life plus 20, so I had no choice to do it, so I'm trying to prevent you from doing it. That's why I'm giving it to you in graphic detail. You understand? Period. You know when I was growing up, they had a joint called Scared Straight. Scared Straight, where they used to go to the prison and, you go there and you got guys talking crazy to you. And the dude, I seen one dude on a Scared Straight. It was in Rahway, New Jersey prison. Dude popped his eye out and went up on a little young boy and he's screaming in his face and he's spitting from his fangs and, he don't pull his eye out to let him know I lost my eye behind one of these joints and da-da-da. And they doing all of that talking. But that was before YouTube. And believe it or not, it worked. There was a white kid that lived next door to me in Jersey that went through the Scared State program. I seen him about 2 years later. He done squared up, got a job, and I said, damn, what happened? You was the best burglar in Jersey. And he's like, man, I went the wrong way. Nigga took his eye out, pulled a joint up, told me might put it in his eye and, told me about how dudes is getting raped in there and all that, and I don't no parts of it. You know what I mean? He said, I don't know no parts of it. Just like that. He ain't saying that. He said, I don't know no parts of it. So I'm like, oh, man, that shit scared you like that? Because I went through the same program, and I laughed at them while they were screaming at me. And they threatened to beat me up, do all this. And I said, well, bring it. You know what I mean? I cocked back in my square, and the police jumped in the middle and all that and, prevented it. And they said, oh, this nigga's lost. And I was lost. You know what I mean? Because I didn't take it serious. You understand? But that's because I looked at it like he bleed, I bleed. You know what I mean? He bleed, I bleed. Mama always told me, and I put that in one of my comments, if you notice, I read all my comments and I respond to 90% of my comments, you know what I mean? Because I spend a lot of time responding to the comments. And that's why I ask y'all to hit the like button or the emoji now. We're going to start the emojis in the comment. You put the emoji in the comment, that'll put it in rotation so I can make, the dollar that, you don't have to donate. You understand what I'm saying? Hit the emoji, shoot it in the comment. I don't care if it's one fire emoji, one diamond, or one strong arm, shoot it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we do. But now, dude done went to Scared Straight, got his joint right. Yeah? So we up in the joint. Let me get back to Whitey Bulger. Just relax. Ride with me. Somebody even said in the comment, they said, oh man, Unique the best storyteller, but he never finished a story. You know what I mean? That's because I got to teach y'all YouTube etiquettes. You know what I mean? That's like you go to a restaurant, and every time you go there, you eat a full course meal, your belly get full, you feel good, and you sit back, you get a toothpick, and you pick your teeth, and the waitress bring you the check, and you just pay the check, and you don't give her a tip. Now here you go coming back in next time, and you ask for something, and she tell you, okay, 1 minute. Politely, okay, 1 minute. But never come back to you. You know what I mean? And when she do get to you, the service slow is dragging, but she figure because you don't understand restaurant etiquette. And it's the same thing that I'm teaching you. You know what I mean? That's why I work it in so I don't bore you and don't get on it too much. But y'all just really have to be taught. Because I've just come home after 26 years. I'm seeing how YouTube is. So when I see something I like I said on one of the other podcasts, you know what I mean? I send them a cash app. You know what I mean? And if I don't feel like sending them a cash app, if I don't feel like giving them $1, I just hit an emoji. Give them a thumbs up to show my appreciation. You know what I mean? And hope that'll help. And that's all I'm asking you to do, the same thing that I do. But then now, so back to Whitey Bulger. So he in the medical, he got cancer, they give him a Tylenol every time he get up there, he get tired of it. So here go the administration now. They figure, oh, I'm going to fix this dude. He must think he unique or he one of these, self-entitled niggas. Because it's always blacks that go up there and demand what they got coming, and everybody else, majority of the other race, they allow them to say whatever and they go back and they complain to the homies. No disrespect to the other race, just keeping it 100, sharing how it is on the inside for educational purposes and motivational purposes. To motivate you to get out the street and go get your ass a job. You heard what I said? Motivating you to get your ass out the street and go get a job. You understand what I'm saying? Or to educate you, you know what I mean, on how vicious this thing is trying to do time. I had lived with this for 26 years. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. It's not worth it. But if somebody would have told me that back then, not saying I would have listened, keeping it 100, like a lot of y'all are not listening, but I would have heard it. Just like I told you when I was in Allenwood, I met Dr. Guy Fisher. Big shout out to Dr. Guy Fisher. You know what I mean? Big shout out. And shout out to William Underwood. They both get a round of applause. Because those are the two older brothers from my hometown. Guy from the Bronx, Underwood from Harlem. Big shout out to Harlem. Big shout out to the Bronx. They was telling me, man, you keep bringing drugs in these people prison. You keep running around with knives. You keep doing this. You know what I mean? You making the jail harder for us that want to bid. I ain't want to hear none of that crap. You know what I mean? You old, you been down 10 years. This is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And then here go 10, 20 years later, I'm trying to talk to the youngins like that. And I already know that they saying the same thing that I'm saying. Not all of them, some of them. But if I reach one, I'm good. You know what I mean? But once they put me... because I came out of ADX. But once, they did the 5 years when I met Underwood and them in the joint. But I read about them in the paper, heard about them growing up because they legendary characters. You know what I mean? I'm sure they don't want, the hoopla about what they did in the past because it's who they are today. The same as me. That's why I tell the prison stories instead of getting into the street, and everybody want me to get my street stories back. But it's like when you give the street stories, people misconstrued it that you bragging and you showing, oh, you had 30 cars, oh, you told 25 keys, and you keep saying that, you want to say that. No, I'm just trying to give the people what they want. Because this is what it's about. Without eating another YouTuber's back out. Because, I feel it's like this, man. Let me give y'all some more game. This is Jules. You know what I mean? But I got to hit this first.
Mecca what?
Mecca audio. Now, this is Jules. Anybody, they told me this growing up as a kid. You know what I mean? Anybody who has to degrade or disrespect or talk about, the next person in order to elevate. Like a dude trying to talk to a girl and he's telling her, oh, the dude you talk to, he ain't getting enough money. I'm getting more money than him. I take you shopping. I do that. He's a buster. He ain't even, He got a 9 to 5. I'm out here getting his crack money. I'm driving dirty cars. You know what I mean? If a dude got to do that, he's a sucker. You shouldn't have to talk about the next person getting nothing. Just show the person who you are. Show the person who you are, and they'll respect you for who you are, whether they choose to be with you or not. But you don't need to downgrade the next person to do that. You understand? Those are jewels. You don't need, when you see a dude trying to talk to a girl and she's also interested in another dude, and the dude is telling the girl, oh, he ain't said, he ain't getting no real money, he living with his mother, his grandmother taking care of him, he waiting on that grandmother's Social Security check every month. When a dude gotta waste his energy doing that, females, if y'all listening, males, my brothers, if y'all listening, and a female come to you to tell you that dude said this, and dude is weak, and dude ain't this, and dude ain't, if they gotta do all of that to get you to come to them, you don't want to deal with them. You know they full of crap. You know what I mean? That's another jewel. Hit the thumbs up, or at least give me an emoji. You know what I mean? Hit the thumbs up, or at least put an emoji in the comment and shoot it. All right. So now, Whitey Bulger gets tired of the crap, and they get tired of Whitey Bulger and his crap. So what they do is, you see the way I ride with the story? I ain't gonna just stick with one thing. I'm all over the place to keep you going. So if you can't keep up, it's not my fault. Slow it down, rewind it, put the caption up on the screen, but don't ask you need to slow it down. Just keep up. All right. And I'm dancing, and I'm doing my two-step. I'm doing my verbal two-step. It's the verbal two-step, like my verbal gymnastics. I'm doing a backflip, a double flip, and a double, baton twirl in the air verbally. You know what I mean? So y'all got to keep up. Just enjoy the show. That's it. Don't complain. Oh, you need to finish the video. Let me do what I do. You sit here and do what you do. Hit that like button. Hit the emoji. If you got it, hit the Cash App. It ain't that hard. Now, Whitey Bulger gets tired of this. They get tired of Whitey, so they trying to figure out how it's going to go. So he keep going up there every time he go, because every day he go to medical complaining about something, because he's legitimately, in pain and having medical issues. You know what I mean? And they not doing anything for him but giving him a Tylenol. So they get tired of him. So what they say, nah, we going to get rid of this. You know what I mean? We going to treat him like we treat Unique and the other niggas. You know what I mean? We try to treat him all right because he was white and because he Italian, or Irish or whatever. You know what I mean? But now he acting like a nigga. So we going to treat him like a nigga. Now, they sent him there because, like I said, they was turning that yard that I was in into a dropout yard. That's why they wound up transferring me, because they got rid of everybody they felt was aggressive or whatever. They sent him somewhere else. But now when they started sending people like that there, you know what I mean? They had a high-profile case. They was trying to protect or whatever. They're trying to build a safe haven for them, because they already got what they call a cheese factory. If you want to know what a cheese factory is, put it in the comment. I'm going to let you know what the cheese factory is. But at least hit the like button and the comment button. Now, we got the cheese factory. You know what I mean? So they try and turn this into like a miniature baby semi-cheese factory where they could send, he cipher monkey ciphers. You know what I mean? Y'all remember what that is. If you don't know, ask somebody in the comment, what's a he cipher, monkey cipher, and they're going to break it down to you, because my people already know, because I already gave them the game and everybody else gave them the game with the comments. So keep up. I know I'm talking fast. Don't get confused. It's just the Harlem in me. All right? So now, they might send a he cipher, monkey ciphers there because they can't survive on the regular compounds. So then they might also send a dude that done a child molester, you know what I mean? Because he definitely can't survive on a thing. But I don't know if you can see it on YouTube, but it's in the prison we call him a chomo. You know what I mean? Just so you understand. Another terminology, chomo. See what I'm saying? All these game jewels and stuff that I'm giving you. If I can't get a like button, a diamond or emoji, you know what I mean? Something wrong. Because that don't cost you nothing. But if you got it, you already know. Hit the Cash App that's on the screen. Now, and my phone number is up there. I talked to a lot of brothers that been calling me, and some sisters. You know what I mean? I had one of the sisters talk to my 87-year-old mother, and it was a pleasure. I think they went to Zabamba or something like that. But anyway, let me give a couple of shout-outs real quick. Dassy sent me a little Cash App, which I appreciate. Dalton Glay, Josh Taylor, Raymond Jones. You know what I mean? This is how the people that been representing, so you see how this thing go. KHDA, Crypto Quincy, that's how people show they love, man. Twin Treats, you know what I mean? Andrew Raw, you know what I mean? Rel. You know, we get all kinds of cash app. Big shout out to my man. I got to give him a shout out because he played fair. And please call me because, you know, my mom's going to bring you on the show. I got a Sereno brother that I said something about, you know, and this is how much of a man I am. So you understand, this is how my channel works. This is how Unique Mecca Audio work. There was a Sereno that was watching my show all the way in California. Big shout out to the Serenos in California. Big shout out. You know what I mean? Big shout out. We had this Sereno in California. You know what I mean? Miguel Trujillo. You know what I mean? Miguel Trujillo. Big shout out. Straight man, stand up man. I said something that he didn't agree with. You know what I mean? That he corrected me on, but he did it as a man. He said it respectfully in the comment, and then he DM'd me. What the comment was that my man Miguel Trujillo said was, I made a statement saying that, you know, when I was in California, the way it looked to me like it was all right for the Serenos to tell on blacks and other races, but as long as they don't tell on each other. That's the way I interpreted it from what I've seen, because the Serenos official, like, you know, the DC car official, the GD car official, the Jersey car, the Philly car, the Detroit car. So what happened in the car stays amongst themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And being that I'm cool with everybody, I knew what was going on because they always filled me in like I might be chilling in the joint. Like I was with my man yesterday in the Bronx, my man Flip and my man AZ. We up in the Bronx the other day. I ain't gonna tell you where, but we up in the Bronx chilling. We on the corner, and we was talking about the little homie from well, I call him little homie. It's my little homie, but he's a big homie. We were talking about the little homie Mookie. You know what I mean? Mookie is Anthony Jones from Baltimore's brother. You know what I mean? That's my family. They're younger than me, and, you know, I'm older than them who was doing things before them and, you know, on a different level. So now we got Mookie locked up. So I was telling them while we was sitting on the corner, we was talking about Mookie, and I'm like, man, Mookie would come up to me and be like, yo, Unique, man, I know you working on your case and all that, but, you know, go back to the unit. You know what I mean? You know? Now, picture a man telling you, you know, I know you working on your case, but go back to the unit. You follow what I'm saying? Y'all look at that because y'all in the civilian world and don't understand. But what he's telling me is, man, I'm getting ready to go put my work in, stab the shit out this nigga. I don't want you nowhere near it because I know you working on your case and you trying to get out of jail and you my big homie. You know what I mean? So he ain't get into all that. I'm getting ready to go stab somebody because none of that is impressionable to none of us. Because, you know, it's just penitentiary life. So if this what y'all want, youngins, go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. But that's why I'm giving y'all the jewels and the implication of how things go. But old Mookie used to always come to me and be like, yo, Nick, I know you working on your kids. Go on to the unit, son. You know, if the move is on and we in the yard, you know what I mean? Let's say I'm sitting on, let's say I'm standing over by the basketball court and they playing a basketball game and the game getting out of hand. Whether Mookie or whoever, one of the homies, if they get into something, you know what I mean? Because the men, they don't try and pull other people into their fights. That's why, no disrespect, when we grew up, it wasn't no gangs because it was one-on-ones and it was fair ones. You know what I mean? So, dude, let me know, like, I'm getting ready to go put my work in on this nigga. You know what I mean? Going over there to the baseball field by the bleachers because it's getting ready to get real bloody and a whole lot of police getting ready to come out here. You know what I mean? So they might come over to me while I'm watching the basketball, chilling, smoking a black and mild, smoking a joint or something, drinking a little white lightning, enjoying the game, chilling, you know, kicking it with the homies. You know, they'll come over there, they'll tell me and whoever else is official that they don't want to get caught up. Yo, big homie going over to the baseball field. That's it. Yo, big homie going on the baseball field. Be like, all right, homie. Boom, and I'm at the baseball field. I don't need to ask no questions. Because if they needed me, they would have said, Unique, yo, you strapped? You know what I mean? Because I got beef. You know what I mean? Unique, you strapped? You know what I mean? Because I'm, you know, we got an issue. You know what I mean? And they know that it's an issue that's worth you fighting for. They not going to tell you, you know, or ask you if you got strapped because they just want to stab a dude because he looking at them funny. That's when they know they're going to handle that on their own, so they're not going to mess up the other good men's bed because they in their body, a.k.a. feelings. You see, I give you all these jewels. That's why I say hit the Cash App, man. God damn. You know what I mean? Why I got to do this? You know what I mean? But y'all learning the etiquette because y'all definitely been kicking in. So let me see. We got David Turner. We are Creston Irby. You know what I mean? We got Brian, Terrence Murphy, Luides St. Felix. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Antonio Green, Dana Jackson. These are people that, respect the hustle and donated the Cash App. And like I said, I don't care if it's $1. But anyway, we out in the yard, the shit get ready to go down. They say, yo, Unique, come on over to the baseball field. I grab my big laundry bag with all my legal books. I just come out from the library, law library, and they let us in the yard before they called a move. But while I was in the law library, something jumped off in the basketball court, and dudes get ready to put their work in. So they know Unique working on the case. We ain't gonna jack Unique bit off, because that's how he keep his sanity, by keeping hope alive that he's getting ready to do something. We just got a Cash App. Let me see. Oh, man, I missed it. Let me see who this is. Let me scroll down to the bottom. That's what I'm saying. That's how I respect the family, man. Brandon Jackson, big shout out. You know what I mean? Dex, Ishmael Kabir. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Asia Jackson, Cornerstone. That is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I mean? Get your name shout out by showing love so the people know that you understand and you know and learning. If you didn't already know, YouTube etiquette. The same way you go in a restaurant. You go in a restaurant nowadays, I come out of jail. Let me get on this one. I'm going to get back on, the homie Mookie and them in the yard and all that. And I'm going to get back on Whitey Bulger. But right now, y'all want a little 30-minute video, so I'm dancing. Let me do my two-step. You know what I mean? Let me do my two-step. So now, just like you go in a restaurant and, you go cop something. You understand what I'm saying? Just like to give you all examples so you understand. I come out of jail, and when I come out of jail, I go in a restaurant. When I go in a restaurant, you know what I mean? My peoples is with me. I ain't got no credit card or nothing at the time. You know what I mean? Got one now, thank God. You know what I mean? Thank y'all. Thank YouTube. You know what I mean? But now I go in, you go in the joint and you give them a credit card to pay your restaurant bill, and they tell you to add in a certain percentage for a tip. Think about that. When I was on the street, we paid with cash. So you go in the store and it costs you $25 or $50 for the meal. You know what I mean? You give them a tip. What you want to give them. But now they tell you, well, if it's $25, you give them 15% or 10% of what the tip is, what the thing is, and they calculate what you give them. You on YouTube and you can just send a brother $1. You know what I mean? $5, $20, or either an emoji, a diamond button or a fire button. You choose what you want to give them. But I come out of jail, and now they telling me how much percentage to give for a tip. If they would have told me this was going on in a free world, I would have said, where they do that at? How you going to tell me how much to give you? They say you're supposed to give them a certain percentage. Somebody put in the comment, what's the percentage you're supposed to give on a tip when you go in a restaurant? And then you tell me at the same time, what should be the percentage when you come to a man's channel every day at the same time and get good content, and he got to buy new shirts for you to look good because you don't want to look all busted. You understand what I'm saying? He got a guy hat, he got to buy the Rodecaster mic, he got to buy, the Rodecaster mix machine to make sure the volume good. I put a video up yesterday, the volume was bad. I had to go back out and spend another $200 yesterday to go buy a mic. I had to go buy another mic yesterday for $200. You know what I mean? If not, this would have been all crackling like the video that came out yesterday, but I don't want to give you all that. And that's why we give a donation. I remember growing up, how long is this? Because I'm riding good, man. We way at 38 minutes. You know what I mean? I shouldn't cap it, but I'm going to give y'all a blessing today. But now I just feel like kicking it. When I was growing up on 172nd Street and Broadway, they had the Reverend Ike Church. You know what I mean? Reverend Ike used to send out letters, to everybody. I don't even know how he got the damn addresses. But Reverend Ike used to send out letters to everybody, telling everybody that the roof was leaking in his church and he needed to fix the roof. You know what I mean? And people would send money and donate to him. You know what I mean? For him to get his roof fixed. And, then he'll pull up in an old Toyota, and the people be like, man, yo, I love your sermon. I love you. I'm telling everybody that, you give the best sermon, and I get my spiritual blessing, and I feel the Holy Ghost. But then you pull up and you wearing a cotton suit, you know what I mean? And, driving a Toyota. That don't make me look good because I'm representing you. You know what I mean? So here go a couple of dollars to put towards you getting a nice, Armani suit, or you getting a nice Cadillac or even a Grand Prix. You understand what I'm saying? And the people wanted their leaders, their influencers, they wanted their influencers, to look professional. Instead of people look at him and say, man, you run behind that dude. He's in there preaching a sermon and he's wearing a champion hoodie and a pair of ripped up jeans, and you listen to him telling you, I mean, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So they want their people to look good. I just want y'all to get the understanding where I'm going with this. But let me speed up with the Whitey Bulger joke, because I've been on here, 40 minutes already. You know what I mean? But I'm having fun riding, so y'all can get a nice one for the new year. But anyway, so now Whitey Bulger, get tired of them. They get tired of Whitey Bulger. So now they put him in for transfer. They put you in for transfer. They send your paperwork to Grand Prairie, Texas, which was the main office, because they used to have the transfer centers. I'm going to break that down a whole nother video, so I'm going to say this real fast, so keep up. If you can't keep up, either you put the captions on the screen, you understand? Or you rewind it, or you wait for me to do a video that I'm going to talk a little slower so you can keep up. All right. So now, Grand Prairie, Texas, where they send all the transfer. They used to have it where every state you was in, they had a region where they broke it off in sections, like the Southeast region. You know what I mean? With like Atlanta, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi. That's the Southeast region. Then you got the Northeast region, where you had, if you up there in a jail in Pennsylvania, New York City, Ohio. That's the Northeast. Then you got the West Coast region, you know what I mean? Where that's broken down the same way, you know what I mean? Northwest and Southwest, and they break everything down, and they used to send the transfer to each one of these different departments in order for you to get transferred. So if you're in the Northeast region, they had it in Pennsylvania on Chestnut Street. I still remember, I had to deal with them for years. You know what I mean? Trying to get back over to the east. So, if you're in Pennsylvania, they send your transfer to Pennsylvania region on Chestnut Street, and they go through the thing. Big shout out to Philly. I got a banging Philly story for you. I got a couple. I'm gonna tell you all about Biz again. Y'all remember I mentioned Biz? If you remember me mentioning Biz in the comments, I don't remember what number video it is. I number the video so y'all can keep up by the numbers, because I know I'm pumping them out fast. So just remember the number on the video if you want to refer, recommend, or share it to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? But I spoke on one of them, I don't remember what number it was, about the homie Biz I was in Long Park with. And then when I got back on the East Coast, and how he was robbing dudes and cold gangster, out of Philly. Big shout out to Philly. And I got a couple of stories for that Detroit call, because I know y'all been asking. Bear with me. I'm getting in touch with the brothers that I'm going to be telling their stories, and I want their approval before I tell the stories, because that's how I work. I'm not chasing views where I'm going to put nobody business out there if they don't approve of it. But anyway, so, Whitey Bulger, you see, I'm dancing. I don't remember where I'm at, so I'm going to get back to Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger now got tired. Oh, we talking about the regions, why they put the transfers in. So then they put the office, one main office for the whole BOP with 2 million inmates in a place called Grand Prairie, Texas. So whenever you want to transfer, they sent to Grand Prairie. So when they get out there, that's where they took all the people from all the different regions around the country, those little individual pocket regions. They took all of them and they put them in this one office in a town in Texas called Grand Prairie. You know what I mean? So they put them in Grand Prairie, Texas, and when they get in Grand Prairie, Texas, they decide where they're going to send you by looking at your classification, how much violence you had or whatever you had, and they do what they got to do. You know what I mean? To decide where they're going to send you. They look how many stabbings you had, if you've been programming, if they want to send you to a medium, if you've been stabbing somebody, they want to send you to a high security. Grand Prairie do all that. So now they get Whitey Bulger's paperwork over there. Here's an old man, 81 years old, in a wheelchair, 110 pounds, soaking wet, cancer, can't even stand up to wash himself in the shower. And, they put him in for a transfer for a 300 series shot, which is called insolence. Insolence is when you tell the nurse, I'm not taking this damn Tylenol. They give you an incident report, and you normally go to your unit team, and you see the unit team, they give you extra duty. So you would normally expect to see Whitey in his wheelchair wheeling around, or somebody pushing him around while he's wiping a window or wiping off the tables, doing what they call extra duty. That's what they normally do for that shot. But being that Whitey kept harassing them, and they got tired of it, and they wanted to get even because they vindictive like that. What they did is they sent his ass out, you know what I mean, to Hazleton, West Virginia, which is one of the most vicious penitentiaries in the United States. And everybody there is on man time. The ones that's not on man time is the ones dropping the kite. When they find out you're dropping the kite, they get a knife put in them and they getting airlifted. You know what I mean? So they might hide amongst the men for a minute, but this is where they got all the gangsters at that go by the code of the prison. So youngins don't go to prison because you got dudes that's going to scrutinize your conduct. Meaning you telling, you dying. That's the way it is. You know what I mean? So now, here they go. They send Whitey Bulger out there, and he get out there to Hazleton, and, you know, he's an old gangster. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. You youngins watching this, pay attention and keep up. I know this is lengthy, so I know y'all going to watch it because I'm enjoying telling y'all the story. Now, the youngins, so you understand, when you get transferred to a prison, you must go on that compound. If you don't go on the compound and you check yourself in and say, I'm going to stay in the shoe for whatever reason, there's somebody I got in a fight with, somebody I stabbed, somebody that killed my girl's grandmother, and, you know, I don't want to have to kill them, so I don't want to go to the compound. When you get to the next compound, the word is going to be there before you get there that you were scared to check in at this other yard. Now, once they tell you you're scared to check in and you get that, you get to the next yard. Now, they don't want you on the yard because they figure you a coward. If something happened, you're going to tell. You know what I mean? And you don't want nobody there that's going to tell. You know what I mean? And you don't want nobody that ain't going to fight for themselves. You know what I mean? So they definitely ain't going to fight for you. You see what I'm saying? So now when they saying Whitey Bulger being that he's old gangster, he didn't want it on his jacket at 80-something years old, because you know the prison rules that under no circumstances do you duck a compound. You let the administration tell you they're not going to put you on the compound, and you can't do nothing about it. But you can't tell the administration, man, I can't go on the compound. I'm Whitey Bulger. You know, I done told on the Boston people, and they got the people here from the car. You know what I mean? They're going to kill me when I get on the compound. You can't do that. That man knew when he went there, he was going to be killed. He knew they was sending him to the slaughter block. They knew they was putting his head on the chopping block. This is how vicious these people is. But they was mad all because he cussed out one of the female staff and told her to go kiss his ass. And they got tired of him, kept coming in there, so now they figure they're going to get even. But the people that, you know, did that, to me, they didn't know the seriousness of what was going to happen. They figured he'll go there and they'll put him in a hole and they'll transfer somewhere else. Or he'll go there and he'll check in and go to the hole because he ain't that tough. So they want to put him in a situation so they could degrade him. Because that's what you call it in prison, by sending them to the prison. So when they sent him to the prison and, you know, he said, oh, I can't go on the compound because I'm Whitey Bulger and I done told on the Winter Haven gang or the Winter Hill gang. Somebody corrected me, so let me know if I'm wrong or right because I can stand to be corrected. I'm human. You know what I mean? And I didn't really care about him like that, so I didn't care what it was. No disrespect to Boston, you know? But, you know, so they sent him out there thinking that he's not going to go on the compound. But Whitey is the man he is. He went on the compound. He wasn't on the compound an hour. Couple of hours, give it the tops before the people in the comment go, he was there an hour and 5 minutes. He was there an hour and 2 minutes, because that's how people is. They look for crap to talk about. But he wasn't there but a couple of hours. He get on the compound the same night he get there. He didn't even get a chance to lock in that night. He get there, they push the man over in the corner. You know what I mean? In a blind spot. You know what I mean? And then here goes somebody from the gang that he told on was there. He already doing the life sentence. You know what I mean? He was fighting to get out of jail, but the hatred was so strong in him that he was willing to give up everything and just die in prison because he finally got his chance to get his hands on the rat that told on his gang. So I'm telling you, youngins, don't go to jail. It ain't worth it, so you ain't got to do none of this crap. So don't think I'm taking it for no promotion. I'm trying to incite nothing. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't go to prison, because then you got to deal with this crap. Man got life sentence. Know that he trying to get out of jail, but they send the king rat that told on his whole gang from way back in the 70s there, so he can't write back to his people, talk to his people on the street, say, yeah, Whitey Bulger here, everything is good, and I didn't do anything to him. Because then he lose credibility, they don't mess with him. You understand what I'm saying? So if you youngins want to have to be put under these rules, situations, principles, and codes, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? But that's why I say, you know, stop the crap. I had to take a deep breath on that one, man. Stop the crap, man. Stop the crap. you know? But anyway, they push him over there, and they get him to the joint, and instead of him going to the shoe, he in a wheelchair. He can't even walk, can't stand up to take a shower. They put him in a unit with a bunch of gladiators and killers, and then put him in a unit with one of the dudes that he told on, young subordinates that came up, after the ones that he talked about. Because the dude was too young to be around when he did it. But you understand how this is? He already told on him when this kid was a baby or in grade school, but then, he already told on their gang. So that now he runs into him, and being that he got a chance to get his hands on him, the penitentiary rules and etiquette is you got to do it. That's why I'm telling you, go to prison. Don't go to prison so you don't have to go through this crap. You understand what I'm saying? So they push him over, and dude, they had somebody push him over in the corner in a blind spot. So when they pushed him over in the blind spot, this dude went to work at him, stabbed him in his face, took his eyeballs out and everything else, man. All because he told. You know what I mean? Because he was a rat. Not promoting nothing. Like I said, man, whatever you feel you need to do for you so you can lay your head comfortable on the pillow, you do it. But I'm not going to do it. That's just me. And it's not my place to judge you because only God could judge you. Only God could judge you. So if you comfortable at night telling on somebody, you know what I mean? That's on you. But know that you go in the penitentiary, you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to be airlifted. If they like you, they'll just stab you up. If somebody's there, they'll tell you, yo, just leave, because if you don't leave, we're going to stab you up. And then you make the choice. But if you leave, it's going to follow you to the next jail, even faster than if you fight. So you got that called a tough man check-in. Allow me to tell y'all what a tough man check-in is. If y'all want to know what a tough man check-in is, put in the comments. I've been here too long, 51 minutes, damn near an hour, but happy New Year, happy holidays. Hit that like button, hit that share button, cop the book in Harlem, and definitely everybody in the sound of my voice, and send a nigga $1. If you like the content, you just sat here for an hour. It's not worth $1, my nigga. Well, if you ain't got it, hit the power emoji, the fire emoji, or the diamond emoji, because I'm giving y'all all these jewels and diamonds. But dude wound up killing him over there, and then when he killed him, that's why I'm going to give y'all this last couple of minutes instead of even prolonging it, because if somebody said in the comment, I don't be finishing the videos, because y'all don't really know how to respect the YouTube etiquette, but I'm going to go on and finish this and end it. But then now, so after dude done stabbed him up, they done took his eye out. Could you imagine getting your eye stabbed out of your head? At 81 years old in a wheelchair, you can't stand up to wash yourself, so you couldn't even defend yourself. So imagine what that man felt like when this young man, 30-something years old, about 40, 38, 40, jumped on him, healthy, workout 3 times a day, came at him with the bone crusher. Don't put yourself in that situation, man. If anybody just sat here for this hour listening to this, and think this is glorifying, promoting, anything like that, you're sick. You know what I mean? And you got an issue, and God forbid if you go to prison with that mentality. Because I'm telling you, don't go to prison. Because I'm telling you how vicious it is in there. Man, 81 years old in a wheelchair. But all because he told, and he got to the people that he actually told on, where now they had no choice but to do nothing. Because if he would have left there, if that dude would have left there, wouldn't have done nothing to Whitey Bulger. You know what I mean? He couldn't go to no other penitentiary. They'd be like, nah, you was with Whitey, they ain't do nothing. Nah, we gonna kill you. Because you should have killed him. That's how you want to live, my brother. So now, mind you, like I said, I'm gonna end this real quick. Now, mind you, somebody pushed him over in the corner. He couldn't even stop them from pushing him because his legs wasn't strong enough at 110 pounds, frail, and 81 years old. So the dude is pushing him in a wheelchair, and he's sitting there knowing he's going to the slaughter block. They push him over in the corner where the cameras ain't at, so the dude could have all the time in the world to take both his eyes out, rip his skull apart. And I mean, come on, family. Why would you want to go to prison to put yourself through this? To even see this, to be able to even tell this back to somebody. This is something you don't even want in your mental. But the young man that did that to show you how official it is in prison. And we talking about prison officials, so don't you clowns come in here talking about, oh, that's not official. Official is getting a job. Official is staying home with your family. We know that's official. That's in this world. But in this other world, I'm trying to prevent you from going to. You know what I mean? Getting a job is not official. They even tell you don't even go to Unicor. If you want to know about that, y'all want to know about how they tell you don't even get a job in the prison and why they tell you don't get a job in the prison. And they had joints where dudes would stab dudes up for getting a job in the Unicor when I first came in the 90s. I'm talking about 93, 94. If you went and got a job in the Unicor, you had dudes that wanted to stab you, man, just for getting a job, you know, to buy your cosmetics. So if you want to know about that, man, you know, put in the comment that you want to know about, you know, getting a job in a joint. But I've been on it long enough. But anyway, dude, when he gets caught, you know, after he gets killed and they lock the unit down, they go ask what happened. The dude that killed him straight up, man, he told him straight up, don't do nothing to the man that pushed him over in the corner. You know what I mean? You know, I pushed him in the corner, whatever, and he claimed it on his own. You know what I mean? He claimed it. He said, man, I'm not trying to hear that. You know, he said, I killed him. I did it, and I killed him because he's a rat. He told all my people he had to die because you know how penitentiary rules is, and I'm official gangster, and I'm living like an official gangster. So I did what we do as official gangsters in the prison. You go outside the bars every night, go lay down, hug your kids, school your wife, eat dinner with the family on Christmas and Thanksgiving, sit back, watch unique Mecca audio on YouTube. You know what I mean? But I'm in here, that's your official life. My official life is if a dude tell all my peoples he's airlifted or he's dead. Now on that note, I'm about to tap out because y'all don't really get the hang of this thing like what I'm telling you, man. Hit that like button, put the emoji sign, or at least send a dude to Cash App. Whatever it is, your favorite podcaster, not just me. You see your podcaster doing his thing. You know what I mean? You send him a Cash App. Now, I've been on here, what? Oh, my God, 56 minutes. Let me end, man. I definitely don't want to be up here no damn hour. And y'all don't understand that at least a little dollar Cash App, $5, $10 is appreciated for me giving you all this damn time. And happy holidays and happy New Year. Stay out of prison. Stay away from the crack. All right?
Hi guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nautical Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner, Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law, Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian, fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26,
yeah.
Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix.
Yeah.
What he mentions a gift.
Bruh.
You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit.
Yeah.
Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn.
Real.
Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.